Hey YouTube, it's another C64 game. I'm Rob. This time it's the arcade conversion of Spy Hunter. 1983 Bally Midway, converted by Sega, and of course, for those who were on the PAL side of the fence, brought over by US Gold. If you haven't played the game, it's a pretty straightforward car combat blaster. You play a spy, he's got the C64 interceptor, and you just drive on this road and take down as many spies as you can. Pretty simple control scheme here. It's one of the things I don't like for the C64 version. The original arcade game was like steering with gears and a series of weapons. Oops. Here on the C64, you really are limited in that they took the gears out, which was a good thing. That made the game, low gear was sort of kind of average speed, high gear was just unplayable for most people. But you had separate buttons for your four weapons. So your car is basically armed with four weapons. The primary is these machine guns, and as you drive along, you'll see trucks that can deliver you the other three. There's ground to air, surface to air missiles that are useful for a helicopter enemy comes later, and then your classic sort of oil slicks and smoke screens. And on the arcade game, there were different sets of like fire buttons for each of those. On the C64, it's the surface to air missiles are automatic, which I really like. It really simplifies that. You just fire them when you're ready. That's it. All right, so that's the first pickup truck we've just seen. So that is carrying a smoke screen. So what happens? You go in the van, it'll pull over and drop off. Next little surprise, of course, is the little access lane that lets you change to the boat. That, of course, really comes into play later, where you'll be told the bridge is out. So now, on the original arcade game, you had a separate button. Here on the 64, when you're playing with joystick, you use the joystick in the second button. So, much like, seems to be convenient for a lot of early games to actually be a single-player game, but still require two joysticks plugged in. And from what I saw, from the original US instructions, it actually had a joystick holder that fit like two Atari-style joysticks in, and it allowed to sort of hold that a little easier, which is certainly an interesting thing to do. Unfortunately, I don't know any of the more details behind the conversion. There's no. You see from the credit screen there was just a general copyright, which probably makes sense for a lot of these early games. So now I've hit the water, which is actually, the challenge here now is you don't get the civilian traffic like you do on land, but now you've got to avoid these little islands as well as the boats. The boats themselves can occasionally drop sort of like mines. There we are. You can, of course, take the left and stay in the water. In this case, I didn't, so I've landed and got the oil slick. So I've got two of the additional weapons. So you can see, there goes the oil slick. And that's the thing that's annoying, is you can't precisely pick. And I've just lost everything. So, the way the game works is you have 1,000 seconds of unlimited play, unlimited lives. You can die as many times, nothing happens. When that runs out, you then need to start collecting additional lives, which happens when you first one at 20,000, and if you select the easy level, then the Vice Expert, that's at every 10,000 thereafter, or every 20,000 thereafter if you're playing on the Expert level. Those kind of it's really annoying to get back to the options to change that. Of course, our enemies are, we've got the first car is the one with the spikes, so he collides from the side. This one, of course, is bulletproof, so he needs to be rammed off, or they need to be rammed off. There'll be the different boats. There's also one who I haven't seen for a while, which is the shooting from the side. There we are. So I've reached 20,000 extra life. And of course, the panel at the bottom is just your score, lives, or the countdown timer when you're starting, along with whatever weapons you've picked up. So you can see I've got the little cloud for the smoke screen, and the gun for the car's machine guns. And we've now gone through our sort of first region change. So that we've... And the idea is you want to not attack the civilian traffic, as they will cancel scoring points for a short period of time. Excellent. Now the oil slick. Now this region, for want of a better term, also introduces the an enemy helicopter, the Mad Bomber, that drops. That'll cover the sky and drop little bombs on the road, and if you get hit on those, you'll be taken out. I'm playing quite rubbish. Playing a little better before. And the only way you have to basically survive attacks for a few seconds, or wait until, or if you have the missiles, wait till he gets close enough. There he is. So he'll try to drop bombs on the road. You can see, and you hit those, you'll be taken out. So the idea is you need to not play rubbish, but you need to avoid those, or if you have the surface-to-air missiles, just get close enough and they'll auto-fire. So, I mean, this was originally released on cartridge, so it's a fairly small conversion. But surprisingly, they managed to squeeze in, like, this feels pretty good. I mean, there are improvements I do like, improvements I don't, namely the weapons control. I wish there'd been, I don't know whether it'd be like, it's hard to say when you only got a one-button joystick, how you could best implement that. But, I mean, I'm willing to forgive it as it is such an early game on the machine. This has been really, because I actually got in a pickup not too long ago. I've always had copies lying on discs and stuff, but it was good to actually have a proper copy, even if the instructions are kind of wrong. I mean, I didn't even know that you needed the second joystick you could use the second joystick to fire the oil slick and smoke screen. I knew it was like I used to use another completely different combination, which didn't work as well. But now you can fire it without actually having to fire your guns at the same time. The second one I've missed, where they've just not... Well, yeah, I mean, one of the things... Controls are withstanding. The graphics are very nice for a simple game. I mean, we've got it out, pull off to the side here. Like, they're nice and colourful. They're, you don't see... There's no flicker or slowdown, which is really good for an early game. There's a lot of colour in use. Graphics are a little blocky, but it is an early one, so I could kind of forgive that. Scrolling is smooth. Like, based on your speed, sometimes it gets a little jittery. I wonder if that's just difference between US and European machines. I mean, the physics, I don't know if they can really cover the things. Early game as well, so I mean, there's a reason why this game's sort of really early classic. Oh! Yep. That boat dropped the mine, which I hit. Oh, well, and we went up the ramp anyway. Okay. But you can sort of see how the basic game works. It's fun little arcade commercial. You can't expect the world from a game like this. It is about trying to... Oh! That is the other car, I believe the Enforcer, which, as you can see, tries to basically shoot you from the side. Oh, I haven't seen that one in a long time. When I was younger, I used to jump out of my seat when it'd come on screen, because I'd always stuff up the timing, so I'd always get shot. It's like, oh! I'd always forget. Aww. He's like that I actually managed to drive the other car off the road. Right. Game over. I think that's enough play. Oh, we've got another life left. Oops. It's a nice handling conversion. It's nice and a little Spartan on the presentation. Like I believe there's just a local high score. There's no table or anything. There's no name entry. Yeah, out with the Mad Bomber. But it's a single load. It looks really good for the time and plays quite well. Excellent. So this is what I do recommend you have to check out. I mean, you have to get used to the slightly idiosyncratic nature of how the pickups work. But once you get used to that, it is an incredibly fun racing shooter. But now that's game over, it's probably not worth me having another game. So yeah, I do like Spy Hunter quite a bit. It's a fun little classic. Nicely put together for the time. And one to definitely check out if you like your little sort of racy shooter type games. Definitely worth checking out. It's a good conversion. Thanks again for watching. Thanks again to everyone who subscribes, likes, comments. Please do so. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and more games will come as they do. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you on the next one.